Welcome to the evolution of money. The greatest wealth is created by being an early investor in innovation. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm documenting my journey on the greatest wealth transfer in the history of humanity. Guys, it's time to go old school rabbit hole video. Shout out to XRP Time with the bags and infinite growth on that video right there. Guys, I'm here to tell you the evaluation of XRP is at $32.91, and this is actually quoted from BlackRock Director and Susan Anthony Board of Director. Also, I'm going to put together, guys, and show you why I believe there's a 2030 agenda tied with Bank of America, or tied with Bank of England, tied with Fed Reserve, BlackRock, Robbie Mitchell, Jay Clayton, big time smoking mirrors. And you guys do not want to miss this video because this is an old school deep dive, which I believe a lot of crypto channels have got away from the connections you had to make a video legit, or, you know, the partnerships and the proof and the investors and the backers and the utility. So let's do this. Fed Reserve gives Ripple vote of confidence, and XRP $32 per XRP, quoted by big names. I'm not a financial advisor. Smash that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, show some love. Let's get back to daily content on the quick video with no shout outs, straight to the news. Fed Reserve Task Force, Ripple improves speed and transparency of global payments. Some may have seen this news and some may have not. I just kind of wanted to show people back in the day when I first started the channel, some of the research you had to pull up to really be inspired about a project, which has changed so much these days. But today, after 2 years of work, the Fed Reserve released its Faster Payment Task Force Action Plan for bringing faster payments to the United States, highlighting Ripple's ability to underpin the next generation of cross-border payments. And of course, this is on Ripple Insights, very reliable source. Set up in 2015, the Fed recognized the need to spur improvements in payments. The task force brought together a diverse group of stakeholders, and Ripple played the leading role in establishing this future vision for payments. Early in the process, I was elected to serve on the steering committee and represent the companies and provide expertise on emerging blockchain and technology. One of the task force's first achievements was to establish a set of effective criteria. The framework calls for improved cross-border payments. Next, the task force requested proposals for ways to fulfill the criteria. Each were being assessed by McKinsey. Now, McKinsey is a very respected auditor and analytic data provider platform. Framework calls for improved cross-border infrastructure, and McKinsey says Ripple stands out for speed and transparency. Yes. The task force received 22 proposals, 16 which completed the process, including Ripple. Ripple put forth the interledger-based solution that enables improved messaging, tracking, and real-time payments. Standing out is the only proposal focused on solving today's friction with cross-border payments. McKinsey assessment gave high marks to Ripple. Ripple enables the ability to operate cross-border payments faster than the 2 to 4 common days. So that right there is pretty interesting on that aspect. Fed hired McKinsey. McKinsey chose Ripple. We move on. Bearable Guy, big staple in the XRP community back in the day. Time for another video later on that topic. Here's Dave Schwartz, aka Joe Katz, big guy at Ripple. He's kind of like playing a little bit, because here's the Bearable Guy Castle, where, you know, I used to talk to Bearable Guy all the time. But the big question was, who was Bearable Guy? Was Bearable Guy Joe Katz? Was Bearable Guy working at Ripple? Was Bearable Guy working at the BIS? So it was a lot of fun covering the Bearable Guy stuff back in the day. But I'm going to show you guys why I got diamond hands on Ripple, and I've been holding XRP for years. So this is the Ripple Board of Directors, which a lot of projects today, the founders are anonymous. Back in the day, that would never have floated. Chris Larson is an executive chairman of Ripple Board of Directors, former CEO, co-founder of Ripple. Prior to Ripple, Chris co-founded and served as the CEO of Prosper, a peer-to-peer lending marketplace. So truly back in the day, or clearly back in the day, Chris Larson was truly innovative where he came up with the peer-to-peer lending, which would connect the lender and the borrower throughout the bank. And then he had a big dispute with the SEC because the banks felt like they was being pushed out, and Chris Larson had a victory with that. And after that, you had a lot of knockoff companies try to mimic the success of peer-to-peer Prosper peer-to-peer lending markets. So that was pretty interesting. Also, Susan Anthony, unbelievable resume on the Ripple board. Susan Anthony is a professor of economics in Stanford Graduate School of Business. She received her bachelor's degree from Duke University and her PhD from Stanford, and got a doctorate from Duke. And she previously taught economics at the department at MIT, Stanford, and Harvard. So that's pretty impressive right there. Brad Garlinghouse, need I say more? Anasia Manuel. Now, she is the author of the critically acclaimed Brave New World, and she served as an official in the U.S. Department of State and is responsible for Southeast Asia. She was an attorney at Myanmar Well and the Supreme Court cases, and represented special committees on major corporate bonds before the U.S. Congress, Department of Justice, and the SEC. She also was an investment banker at Salomon Brothers in London. She's a graduate of the Harvard Law School and Stanford University. That's amazing right there. Now, shout out to Masashi Okwawi. Is an executive officer at SBI Holdings and is the CEO of SBI Ripple Asia. He serves as the general counsel to other SBI Group companies. Since joining SBI, he has supervised many global investment joint ventures, currently oversees legal affairs related to international transactions and digital assets. Very interesting. Greg Phillips. Greg Phillips brings 35 years of private and public sector leadership experience to Ripple, having held senior roles at BlackRock, Morgan Stanley. Most recently, Craig served as the counselor to Secretary Steve Mnuchin. So you kind of guys see how big the connections are to Ripple. This is why I'm very bullish. Not because I want to see banks run better, because I want to see real projects, real teams, and real utility. Also, you guys may not know about this. He led the policy development for regulatory reform for the financial system under Executive Order 13772, basically which Trump signed executive order first 100 days in office to revamp the financial system, and that was Executive Order 13772, written by Greg Phillips and Steve Mnuchin. So that's a pretty big deal right there. Rosa Rios she served as the 43rd Treasurer of the United States and the CEO of Bureau and Engraving and Printing and U.S. Mint, including Fort Knox. So guys, pretty much Ripple hires the best of the best. So I'm looking for the team, the backers, the investors. So let's get to the price prediction. I know you guys have been waiting for a fundamental valuation framework for crypto assets. So here's Susan Anthony, which I just showed you guys. Susan Anthony is a board of director with a outstanding resume. Now, also we have Robbie Mitchnick, who is now is a director at BlackRock. If you don't know who BlackRock is hiring blockchain VP. And BlackRock, the investment firm, with $7.8 trillion in assets under management, $7.8 trillion. And in 2019, BlackRock hired former Ripple executive Robbie Mitchnick to lead its digital asset area. He also penned a paper outlining the methodology of valuing crypto assets, which is right here. So Robbie Mitchnick, director of BlackRock, Susan Anthony, Ripple board of director. There's a lot of good information in here. I will link in the description. But we're going to get to the price predictions for the sake of time on the video. But they did a BTC price prediction and an XRP, and they fell right on the money with BTC. Kind of interesting on that concept. So if you go to the high end on BTC, it's going to be... Okay, BTC high estimates. The high estimate on BTC is 93,000, which is pretty interesting because it hit almost 60. But they're saying the low, how low a low estimate on BTC should be 45,000. Now that estimate to me seems right on the money, because Bitcoin is 43,000 right now, and they called 45,000. And if you guys recall, BTC has been trading sideways between 40 and 50, 38, 40, 42, 43. So pretty much around 45. So they kind of called that right on the money. Now we scroll down to the next one. The high estimate on XRP is $32.91, which I'm not going to question Susan Anthony or BlackRock director. I believe they know more than me. And the low estimate is $6.37. Hey, I would be overjoyed with the $6.37 XRP, and my life would be changed with a $32 XRP, that's for sure. They represent the potential value of XRP. XRP use case is realized as a final step. We need to convert this into an expected value based on simplified binary model. So basically, guys, these are big time resumes that created this paper right here. Robbie Mitchnick, BlackRock director, and Susan Anthony, Harvard, Stanford graduate. So BlackRock right here. Now this is where it gets a little bit interesting, and here I say there's a 2030 agenda. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink is right about climate change disclosure. So why would they tie climate change disclosure and monetary policy together? And this is actually written by Jay Clayton. So Jay Clayton is back in BlackRock, back in Larry Fink. Larry Fink, pretty interesting right there. The recommendation that the public corporation disclose their plans for achieving carbon neutrality by 2050 should be embraced by companies and investors, as well as pragmatically implemented by regulators globally. Right, Jake Clayton. And I will show you guys where the recommendation that public corporations disclose their plans for achieving carbon neutrality by 2050, as suggested in BlackRock CEO Larry Fink's recent letter and by others, should be embraced by companies and investors, as well as pragmatically implemented by regulators globally. And of course, you scroll down here. A transformation toward carbon neutral economy will undoubtedly affect the performance and prospects of many firms. And of course, scroll a little bit more. I just want to prove to you that this is the same Jay Clayton. Jay Clayton, a CNBC contributor, was the chairman of the SEC from 2017 to 2020. Prior to joining the commission, Clayton was a partner at Sullivan and Cromwell. So, Jay Clayton, SEC, backs Larry Fink on climate change. Very interesting there. Jay Clayton co-authored CNBC, Sullivan and Cromwell. Jay Clayton co-authored the CNBC. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink is right about climate change disclosure. So that's very interesting. But now what do we got? Ripple leads sustainability agenda to achieve carbon neutrality by 2013. So pretty much, guys, always Ripple is so far ahead of the game. So Ripple, a leading provider and enterprise blockchain solution for payments, is committing to carbon net zero by 2030. The first company in blockchain industry to do so. As part of this goal, Ripple today unveiled several initiatives to lead global finance towards carbon neutral future. And through one of those is a partnership with Energy Web Foundation. Ripple has co-created EW0, a new open source tool that will enable any blockchain to decarbonize through the purchase of renewable energy in local markets worldwide. So that's pretty interesting. Now, the Bank of England halves carbon emissions by 2020. You guys remember where Brad Growinghouse announced that Ripple is a paid, Bank of England is a paid Ripple customer. And you've seen that Ripple has a 2030 goal. And there is a G20 global goal by 2050. But it's kind of interesting that Bank of England said it halved its greenhouse gas emissions during the year end of March. So, if you guys go down here, the Bank of England aims to cut carbon emissions to net zero by 2050 and more absolutely to just over a third of their 2016 level by 2030. So we know Ripple working with the Bank of England, they have a 2030 goal. Ripple also is on the same page, 2030. Is that ironic? I believe so. Now, here's Energy Web token. I like to say, guys, if I would have recommended this token when this article came out, it was around $1. And this is what we do. My last video before this one, you must check out on Ratum, Serum, Solana. These are hidden gems, still very good prices. Big time backers, big time teams. This is what I look for. You know, crypto has changed so much where the founders don't have to reveal themselves, the teams don't have to reveal themselves. But that would not fly back in 2018, that's for sure. This is the standard of research that we would use to determine if a project was real or worth it. Energy Web token right here is up to $6. Like I said, in 2020, it was clearly 82 cents right there. And here is Energy Web. Energy Web token, we build operating systems for the energy grids. And if you go down here to browse our global portfolio and projects, 50 projects, 25 countries, 100 plus partners. And of course, what do we see but XRP? Google right there and Ripple right here. So Ripple, XRP, Protocol Labs, Google. And I think there was one more big one up here. But XRP and Ripple is enough to prove the point on carbon footprint initiative. So also Green Initiative, Bank of England, of course. UK Central Bank breaks path for others by disclosing climate-related risks across all operations. In June 2020, the Bank of England published a report disclosing its climate-related financial risk across its operations, including how it's managing them. It was the first time that any central bank had disclosed climate-related risks associated with its monetary policy. If you think about it, guys, think about the mining power Bitcoin costs. And now we have monetary policies that center around climate-related risk. And we all know how pro-green Ripple is. And it's even kind of ironic that the Bank of England is helping push this initiative because, of course, you know they're a paid Ripple partner. Also, Bank of International Settlements, BIS, Bank of International Settlements, is also starting the Green Swan event, central banking and financial stability in the age of climate change. So big things are coming. Now, I wanted to really show you guys the board members of the BIS. The board elects to the chair, BIS Board of Directors. The one that jumped out at me is Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell now confirms the Fed is studying stablecoin risks as Ripple dives into the ring for CBD support. So the Fed attention shifts to CBDCs, and of course Ripple was already on that. Ripple pushes XRP ledger for CBDC and stablecoin support. Ripple, San Francisco-based blockchain company, is ready to dive into CBDC race using its XRP ledger, according to Ripple. Banks can issue stablecoins on the XRPL due to its unique fungible token functionality called issuance currencies. Ripple added, issuance currencies is designed to be ideal stablecoin platform, providing simple but rich management functionality for the issuer that makes it easy to create, issue, and manage any asset, including stablecoins. So Ripple is always so far ahead of the game. Fed releases faster payment progress report. Like I said, some of this news may be old. After a year of creating the Faster Payments Task Force, the Fed has released its official progress report, which of course is in works with, and this was an open collaborative effort with the entire industry, Ryan Zagon said. If you don't know who Ryan Zagon is, Ryan is Ripple Director of Regulatory Relations at this time and was elected to the Task Force Steering Committee last June. Federal Reserve Governor Jerome Powell, who co-chairs the initiative, echoed Ryan's sentiments. The Fed announcement, our progress in the past year, is engagement and commitment with a diverse group of payment system stakeholders. So, Ryan, Ripple, Jerome Powell, BIS, Jerome Powell, Bank of England, BIS, Green Initiative. You kind of get what I'm saying here as far as the partnerships and the utility. And of course, we got Ripple's commitment to carbon net zero. Ripple is committed to a clean, prosperous, and secure low-carbon future, achieving through innovation, new technology, and a market-based solution. Through Ripple's on-demand liquidity service, the most sustainable digital asset native in the XRP ledger and one of the first truly carbon-neutral blockchains. Bam. So I kind of see a shift coming that way where this is going to be a big deal. Ripple, Fed Reserve Task Force, Ripple improves speed and transparency. I think I covered that one in the beginning. So guys, basically the main reason I did this video is to show people some of the standards and that went into research back in the day that would not fly in today's research. Back in the day, you had to have real team, real backers, real investors, real utility, real partnerships. Now you just got to have a real good marketing campaign. As fiat money goes, as we are in the end of days of the financial system, crypto is your ticket out. Of course we are. As fiat money system goes through its last days, governments and central banks are making their last efforts to keep control and prevent citizens from taking their wealth elsewhere in an attempt to save themselves. So here's the thing, guys. They understand what is coming basically in the internet of value. You can make your money work for you more than ever. So that is a pretty big deal. And I will link these articles in the bottom. I highly recommend this. Is a really good read right here, to be honest. And this announcement is telling the entire world that the only way out is when a centralized entity overreaches itself to sell your fiat and buy Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies which are outside of the system and beyond the reach of centralized entities. So Canadian government proved that fiat money cannot be owned by its users. It can only be rented. If you want to own your money, buy crypto. That's what they say. And of course, Telcoin, HODL model, Tel team now the top most used smart contract by the 1,000 biggest Matic wells in the past 24 hours. And we got that from the HODL model Telcoin. And this comes from Well Stats, the top 100 Polygon rich list. So, like I said, guys, Telcoin is getting bigger by the day. Shout out to DEFCON Crypto. And so I'm very bullish on Telcoin. And I want to show you guys why I've been holding XRP forever. And I'm also going to be getting back into dropping daily videos on this channel. So show some love. Smash that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe. And I hope some people can kind of see the how much research and connections went into crypto back in the day versus today. There's a lot less information. The token supplies are ridiculous. Some of the rewards they offer, I believe, may be unsustainable. I don't know. I'm looking for projects with real team, real utilities, real backers, real relationships. Join me daily for quick vids for people that just don't have time for our live streams. Smash that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. Much love. Mahalo.